everybody, and welcome to the show today. If you guys are new here, my name is Ashley, and this is My Sweet Perspective, where I give my take on all things TV and movie related. And we are back this weekend to talk about BMF Season 3, Episode 8, Code Red. But before we get started, I'd like to bring my special guest up. Let's bring him onto the stage and see how he's doing in a new locale, in a new location. How
What
are
up?
you today, Jay?
What up? What up? What up? How we doing? How we doing? Can you hear me? Can you feel me? What's good? What's going on? Ashley, how are you? Yes, we're in a undisclosed location today. Different side of the world. You know what I'm saying? But I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you feel me?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Sound good in the red, vibrant. You know what I mean? Popping mic setup. I see we have no continuity issues.
Oh no, we're gonna stay consistent, continuity, all of that caduity, all of that stuff. It's gonna sound the same, look the same, no matter what the location. We're gonna make sure that, you know what I'm saying? I had to go through TSA and all of that just to get here to make sure we straight. You know what I mean?
Listen,
So yeah.
do what you gotta do to get the job done.
That's
okay?
it. That's it.
And we appreciate it. The people appreciate it. Hey, DeMarcus,
What
what's
up?
good? JTV, happy 420 days.
Happy 420 for real. Jeez.
'Tis the season. They were firing fireworks last night. I said, "Oh, is it a holiday? Is it
For real? Wow.
But I'm kind of in the country too, so that's the thing. Hey, DeMarcus, how are you? And welcome. We love to see you. Love to have you here. Now, Jay.
Yo.
Before we get into all of this, episode 8. How did you feel about the episode overall? What?
Okay. Well, I can say that at first, when I first watched it, I was giving it like a 6. Right? And then I watched it a third time and I bumped it up to like a 7.5. Yeah.
Okay.
It might get an 8 depending on how this discussion goes. It might be an 8, but yeah, I started to feel it as I watched it more so because I started to understand what was really going on. How about you?
Oh goodness. I had mixed emotions about it. I was overall pleased with the episode. I wanna hold out my judgment like you until the end, until after we talk everything out, because there were some great moments. There were some lulls in the episode where I was like, now come on, y'all. But overall, I mean, it was more action-packed than I thought based on the images that were released initially. I will say that. But I had to find my own images. You know what I'm saying? I had to go out in these streets. And find my own images. But let's get into just really quickly the overview of the episode. It aired, of course, we all know yesterday, written by Shaquela Mims, directed by Crystal Roberson. Meech returns from St. Louis to Atlanta to learn that the city and his love now belong to Glock. Cold world. He is determined to build there and to take the city from his competitors, yet he learns to do this in a smart manner with all watching the city and his next move. So, I mean, how do you feel about that as an overview? Is that accurate? Do we feel good with that synopsis that they gave us?
Yeah, I feel good about that. That's pretty accurate. Yeah.
Okay. And we'll get into it, but let's do a little housekeeping because we have more people coming on in, okay? Hey, Ola, how are you today?
So, Queen, hola.
Okay, yes. Congrats, Jay.
Salute. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, fam.
The big 13K and growing. Next stop, what, 25, 50, 100?
100, a million. Let's go. Keep it popping. Keep it going.
We appreciate you as always, DeMarcus, always coming through with the support. We appreciate you. Hello,
yes,
Courtney.
Hey, what's up, Court?
Okay, DeMarcus says the episode was a solid 8. Okay, I can abide that. Okay, now let's get right back into it, though. So, opening scene, Meech is back. The family is all together at the Platinum Palace, Jay. They're all there, and we're introduced to some new people, right? We got Bingo. We got Big Foley. We got C-Note. I mean, I had to rewind and write them names down because I was like, who are these people? What do you think about the new additions to the crew? What you think?
Hey, it's cool. I mean, they already recognize that Meech is the boss, you know what I mean? And the fact that Meech turns around and flips the whole thing on some like, listen, our bosses, You know, the supplier, he don't like singles. You know what I mean? They like big bills because, you know, it's easier to ship. So what we going to do is we going to give back to the community. And I'm like, there you go, my brother. Give back to the community. All the ones, all the fives. Give it back. Spread love. And he is the definition. I think, safe to say, if I don't know anybody else, safe to say he probably the first one to make it rain in the club like he did. You know what I mean?
You know what? He probably set the precedent. I mean,
Right.
it all started here. We probably were witnessing history.
Right.
But I mean, he had to do something after he saw this, Jay. Because I mean, Angel done moved on, throwing it in a circle for Glock. How did you feel? Did your mouth drop? Were we surprised? You said it stays well. So
yeah, no, I wasn't surprised at all. I knew it was going to happen. She's an opportunist. That's, you know, she moved from Greenie to Meech and now on the Glock. She got to do what she got to do. And that's exactly what Meech said, man. She just out here hustling, trying to get her money just like everybody else. So he wasn't mad at her, you know what I'm saying? But we all know that Glock was kind of trying to use that to get at Meech somehow, some way. You know what I mean? So, it didn't get to him.
Nope. And plus he had other offers. I mean, the girls saw their potential, you know what I mean? They saw the opportunity and the other girls in the club seized the moment because Big Meech, let me take you back to this room and let me get you together real quick. And Meech is like, you know what? I ain't got time for no woman right now. I'm making money moves. Okay. So that's not something we have time for.
Free head. We don't mind free head.
Lord Jesus. Lord. Moving right along.
Sorry, Mom.
Moving right along. Okay, so Terry and the crew are having a discussion at the restaurant, and we basically find out that Henry is into the Chaldeans, honey. And I thought I was reading the scripture. I said the Chaldeans, but apparently the Chaldeans are Henry's connect, right? And we knew that from Peaches and all that before. And so Terry putting two and two together in the moment. What did you think of this moment, Jay? How did you feel about this conversation and Terry finally thinking strategically?
Well, overall, I want to just say that, you know, as I watched it that third time, I am defining this episode as the twos. Everybody put up twos in the chat, put twos in the chat. And the reason why, because this was a two episode where the number two was going to become number one, or we were finding out that a number one, speaking of Charles, found out he was number two, right? There's a whole lot of different ones. And as we go along, I'm going to just call out twos because it's like, even with Claude, we find out Claude, who was number two to Remy, was trying to be number one. And we find out what happens to him. So this is a two episode. This is like the second in command type of episode. I see you, Nola. You see where I'm going. It's like the number twos are now trying to be number ones. And the number ones thought they was number one. They turned to number two, and some of the number twos are actually out of here. So
that's deep, because I was just about to ask you. I was going to say, so is the two slot an omen? You know what I'm saying? Is it good or is it bad? And I guess we'll see. But I'm definitely loving the symbolism that we're getting here, the deep thinking, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, DeMarcus says bingo is used as an scapegoat.
Okay.
And the stripper Lucky is sexy. Okay, Lucky, little Lucky. Hey, Monique, welcome.
What up?
Okay, let's keep going. So again, we know that now, since Jay educated us, that the number twos are striving to be number ones in a lot of capacities. And now that I think about it in retrospect, that's very, very true. Now, we just seen Terry strategic, then found out what's going on with Henry. We found an in, right, with the connect, since we already have the distro lined up. We got that lined up last week. But here come Vince, honey. Here come Vince in here threatening, not only stealing desserts off the little dessert counter in the restaurant, but then turning around and saying, I'm gonna bring them people. We know Vince is an op. We know that he was introduced by Fat Cat Big Keisha. Okay, Big Keish. What did you think of that? What did you think of the IRS threats? How did you feel about that scene? What you think?
Yeah, again, it was a attempt to intimidate type of movie. He obviously does not know who Terry is, right? He has no idea of the history. He has no idea of T's connections. He has no idea. He has an idea of what he's doing, but he probably thinks that Terry is more along the lines of Boone, because he used to work for Boone, right? He used to work for Marquise's husband still, because I ain't see no divorce papers, right? So I guess she's still married to Boone, but we ain't seeing Boone because Boone is nowhere to be found right now. So yeah, he was trying to intimidate and didn't work. Didn't work, not on T, because T
He's
said
smarter than your average bear. I'm not
T
one of those.
said T said, some of us younger people graduate to, a more mature woman, I'll say it like that instead of saying his exact word, more mature, voluptuous items on a woman's body. And some of us never figure it out because we asking the wrong questions.
Listen, Terry said, I know in and out.
Right.
Because I was sick of Terry getting punked at every interaction. They done called my man Cyclops. I mean, Bryant done throw him into an open grave. Like, he's really been punked and tried this season. So I was glad to see him standing on big business.
Oh, yeah. Especially this episode.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now back in the A, okay, Meech in the parking lot, and he's noticing some suspect things. He's sitting there in the car minding his black-owned business and sees the Red Dogs doing the absolute most. And immediately now in his mind, we got to move different. How'd you feel about that, Jay? What are you thinking as all this is happening?
Well, we know from the time that he did meet, the boxer, him and T, we knew eventually they would spin the block on this. You know what I'm saying? How do we move our product, right, without the Red Dogs, anybody catching us? So we knew that this is where it was kind of leading to. So that them showing us this was just part of him moving towards, hey, you know what, we got to go to Miami, do what we need to do, and get a whole new setup on how we move the product.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so while he's there now, while Meech is in the A, he also needs to follow up on some things because the war with the MKs is still imminent, right? And so he's still on this, let's get Techwood. We know he laid the groundwork with Claude. And so finally, he and Claude are sitting down and conversing. And Claude is basically like, okay, you got me, but I'm not enough, right? We need to bring some other people in the game if we're going to really make this work. Did you agree with Claude? What was your feeling during this situation?
I agree with Claude, but at the same time, I felt like Meech, like, dude, you handle what you need to handle. We'll set it up, but just make sure you solid on your end. You know what I'm saying? Don't be scared. Like, I know it's kind of like, you got to be careful that Remy doesn't find out, but you need to hold your own, bro. Like, just be a man, step up. You want to be a boss, you want to be number one, then you got to do what number ones do. Get your people together. Let's meet up. And let's meet at the Platinum Palace. If anybody come out there with a toe tag, the deal is off, man. You're done. You will never be number one with us. You know what I mean? But I like how Meech was just like reassuring him, like, you come through me, we gonna be a whole one family, one team, one everything. Come through, make it happen, and we'll make it work.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Again, I think Claude needed that little reassurance. I mean, I don't know if it was a good or bad thing seeing how the episode progressed. But I mean, we're going to find out. Now, back home. Well, let's handle some comments because I saw a couple come in. Okay, Shaka was Glock's right-hand man also. Another number 2. Like I said, I wonder. Listen, I wonder if it's an omen. I'm sick of Vince. Listen, we all sick of Vince.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See, he a number 2 trying to be number 1 too. See that?
Officer Kang and Hardy was on one this episode.
Yeah.
Claude needs Sharp to overturn Remy Ranson. Yep. Okay, let's get back to Detroit. So now, back in Detroit, we're having a sister circle. We had a prayer group, a small group meeting is what I'll call it, right? Where the woman of God came to the house and she's sharing her testimony, Jay. And the testimony seemed very much similar to what we've heard Lucille express these past couple episodes, right? She found herself in a situation where she got pregnant young. She was unmarried. She found herself not wanting the life that she had, and God met her where she was. What did you think of this and what transpired as a result?
Well, this was definitely a deep session here. You know what I mean? This was definitely something that I believe Wanda, Nicole, and Mama Lucille needed to hear. That, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't always this woman of God. You know what I mean? I went through something that I didn't think I was going to get through. And God didn't come through and do what I wanted him to do. He did what was needed, what I needed. And here I am today. You know what I mean? So it was great for Lucille to hear another woman kind of go through a similar situation and how she overcame it. And it was really great for Wanda to really hear this too, because Wanda, I'm sure she feels stuck. I'm sure she feels lost, like she doesn't know where to go and how to get there, right? So to hear, this pastor lady say, hey, you can make it through, you can make it on the other side, regardless of what's going on. You can still have your baby, still be a strong woman, still, become successful on whatever level or whatever God wants you to be. You still gonna be all right. And regardless of what's going on in your relationship, you're still gonna be good. So I thought it was good for Wanda. I thought it was good for Nicole too, to kind of hear this. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, you keep protected, but if something happens, you're gonna have community and family to hold you down.
Absolutely. I absolutely loved it. And like you said, I very much loved it for LaWanda. I think this was the courage she needed to do what I've been wanting my good sis to do this whole time, right? Which is woman up, stand on business, let Terry do what Terry gonna do, but make your own way in this world with your baby. So I absolutely, absolutely love that moment for her and what I think it's gonna represent for her kids and for growth in the future. Now, speaking of children's, Brian woe out behind his child. And I thought in this moment, Jay, he was about to take responsibility when he was like, I'm sorry, Kevin. But as soon as Jen walked in that door, it was a different story. It's all Meech's fault. It's all Terry's fault. What did you think of this? How did you feel about this moment?
Well, number one, he was drunk, right? So, when you're drunk, all the emotions in the world comes out, right? So he was super drunk. And he was just wallowing in his sorrow. You know what I mean? So, of course, you're going to go after the people that you feel has treacherized your life and is the reason why, your son is gone and all of this and that, right? Really it's your fault, though. You're not taking responsibility at all, bro. You're not. And I don't think at this moment he can, because he's sipping on that E&J. Heavy. Heavy. You know what I mean? So he ain't going to be. Yeah, he ain't gonna take no responsibility today, no time today. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm glad Jen came through. Like, listen, let's get back on task. Let's get back on a mission. Let's get BMF. Let's get everybody. Let's take them out, and then you'll be all right. This may make up a little bit of Kevin being gone, but it's not gonna bring him back. At least we can do something. So I'm glad she came through like that.
Yeah. And I think it's like what everyone predicted kind of in the live predictions, which was she was going to come to him, console him, but tell him basically to get up. It's time for you to get up, time for you to move on. We have plans. I'm going to go deep cover, right? As Blondie. And you're going to tell the cousin, right? So they're making a plan. Jen's get up, get up, get up. We got things to do and places to go. So, I don't know. How do you feel about Jen's plan though, moving forward? What do you think?
Hey, as we said last time, it's dangerous. It's real dangerous. But as we see, this is a different type of like undercover thing. You know what I mean? Like, Jen is not taking it like, listen, I'm a cop. She's taking like, okay, let me try to be a friend to this person and we'll see how dangerous it is. But she's willing to take the risk. She wants retribution for Anderson. She wants, help Brian get a little bit better about Kevin, because she did know Kevin. She did care about Kevin too. So it's like a 2-for-1. Hey, you know what? We take out BMF. We take out Henry. I think we're going to be in a little better space. You know what I mean?
My only concern is that I think it's dangerous to play it the way she's playing it, because we know Jen is still sensitive. She's lost her sister. That was definitely a thing. She lost Amberson, which was like another sister. I think Henry coming in, being this other feminine energy in her life, I think she's going to find her connecting, but we'll get into that deeper as we get into those slides, honey. But so we know Terry knows about the Chaldeans, and we didn't know that he had this connect, right? This friend from school who works at the local convenience stores. And Terry gets an idea. How did you feel? What did you think? Is Terry onto something with his plan?
I was highly impressed. I'm highly impressed by Terry and everything that he is coming up with. Like I said, this was his episode. That's why, I gave it a 7.5, leaning towards an 8, because we saw that number 2 really move in a greater position to be number one in Detroit. So, I was impressed. I was impressed by him just putting all the pieces together. You know what I mean? So that was dope.
Yeah, I thought so too. I was like, you better use your connections and figure it out quickly. Absolutely here for that. Now let's see what the chat is saying. Everybody's saying happy 420, honey. Oh, DeMarcus, you felt bad. You felt bad for Brian. Did you did you feel bad for him, Jay? Did you feel bad for Brian?
I mean, of course, I'm a man of compassion. Of course, you lose a son like that. Of course, we're going to feel sorry about that. But again, the accountability thing, like you have been going in the wrong direction, bro. Like sometimes work is not that important. Your family is more important than work. You know what I'm saying? You'll get Meech and T whenever that opportunity presents itself. But when you see your son is going down that slippery slope, he's being bullied, you got to attack that right away. And that's where he messed up. He didn't attack that right away. He didn't address it right away. He just, hey, you know what? Just stick up for yourself and make that superhero into you and then just beat the kid down. It's just like, you ain't handling it properly. And that's why Kevin is where he is because of Brian, man. So do I maybe feel like 5% sorry for him. That's about it.
I feel the same way. I feel bad for Kevin. That's who I grieve and mourn for.
Right.
Because like Dial M for Movie says, no accountability. Absolutely not. Yes, Sharon. I love everything for LaWanda for sure. And that's what we needed to see. I needed just to see her stand up. You know what I mean?
But she also became number one for herself. Mm-hmm. Remember I said she was number 2 trying to be number 1 in Terry's life, but that moment when she got that liberation from the lady pastor, it's like, now put yourself first, take care of these children.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she also did mention, I know Terry don't want to be with me. I finally realized that Terry really just don't want to be with me. So I'm glad she came to that realization and she wasn't believing on that whole dream that he was trying to sell her,
Absolutely. Buck's thought says, you never having good thoughts drinking that Erkin jerk. That brown, listen. Back in the days when I drank, Jay, that was a no-go for me.
What you mean last week? What are you talking about?
Ciao. Not Sharon. Style moment for Jen. If that's what we want to call it, Sharon, maybe a style moment for her. I don't know. Towards the end of the episode, she did look better when I saw the whole complete look. I will give it to her. Greta says,
who y'all talking about?
Jen.
I'm lost.
Jen. She was saying a style moment for Jen.
Oh.
Before 20, Jen bet not let Henry munch on her. Listen, I think she might let her pull out that plastic. Is what I think she might bring out.
Jen did say, hey, yeah, I've been with somebody like you. So now we finding out that Jen has played both sides of the team at some point. You know what I mean?
I've been.
But y'all said that. I will give y'all props. You did say specifically like you felt some type of vibe from Amberson and Jen. And I think it was solidified, especially when she invited her over the house and they were singing that doggone karaoke. I think it was solidified. I think, yeah. You still, you crazy. Yeah, I still got my buttons over here. You know what I'm saying? I still got my buttons. But yeah, she does that. So it is what it is.
DeMarcus says, I actually like Jen. I have issues with these characters like Jen. I just do. I want to like her. Jen play on a slippery slope. She does. Because at the end of the day, I think she feels things deeply. Dial M for a Movie says, fact, slippery slope. Absolutely. I don't feel nothing.
Another 2 moment.
Mm-hmm.
When Jen first met Henry and Henry pulled down the arm, she had 2 wounds.
Okay, 2s. Okay, 2s, 2 burn marks.
420 tubes.
Brian is a great villain like Markeisha is. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll say that. I like that we have a backstory for Brian. I do like that he's a more developed villain, I guess. He could have transferred his son to a private school or something. He really could have taken action in the moment. But I just think he thought, they're just kids being kids.
Right.
LaWanda, move on like Maya. Yes. Lucille is the reason why Terry don't want LaWanda. Well, she did. Yeah, she I think Lucille played a big part in that. I do. When she told LaWanda to take the baby and run.
Yeah, that whole game that she tried to play on Terry. That's really what it was. Because at that point when he found out, oh, you told her to do this? you really did this to try to get me back home? Like, that was it for him. He was just like, all right, well, you know what? Pfft, whatever.
Yes, it was definitely giving more than sister vibes. Listen, that's what I felt. That's what I felt down on the inside. Oh, I didn't know it was Luther Vandross's birthday. Well, rest
It is.
in peace. Yeah, they said 14th
R.I.P.
birthday. Okay, let's get back. Let's go back to the AJ.
Let's go.
Let's go back to the A because we know that Meech sat down and talked with Duffy and was like, look, we got to find a better way to transport because these red dogs are out of control, right? And so they go meet with a mechanic who's like, there's this compartment. They rarely check here. Meech runs them the money. You want to talk to us about this and what happened with the young bull?
Well, I want to give a special shout out to Lawrenceville because the gentleman, the mechanic who said what he said, yeah, the people in Lawrenceville, they ain't too quick. Now, I lived in Lawrenceville, Georgia. So shout out to the people in Lawrenceville. I don't think he meant anything by it. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good plan, but as we know, there's a better plan, right? So to put the compartment to put it right in the middle section underneath the steering wheel, that's pretty genius. But that still doesn't stop them from pulling it down and going through it. You know what I'm saying? So it's a good start, but we know eventually what Meech is going to have to do as far as like how we going to really move this product. You know what I'm saying? So it was a good start. And I like how he said, yo, set up one of your boys to be like a decoy to test it out, see if it works. Obviously, it didn't work because he had it on the side panel, but it was, we'll get
in the right direction.
Yeah.
And we already kind of knew, like you said, what was going to happen with that when we saw the boxer, you know what I mean, in the safe. That was ingenious. Popped up,
right?
Thing hidden under, like,
right.
Trying to find that. But I do want you to address this comment, Jay, because this is interesting. Henry kissed Jen Scars like Jannard did Liliana. What you think of that?
Well, they both sick individuals. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but it's also a symbol to say, you know what? I'm here to heal your wounds. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what you have. I still want to be with you. But again, this both Jannard, when he did it to Liliana, he just wanted to smash. But that's the same thing with Henry. Henry was like, yeah, I want to smash, but at the same time, I'm kind of filling you out to see what's going on. You know what I mean? So I think Henry has a feeling that Jen is up to something, but she just can't do anything yet because she hasn't revealed anything. But yeah, Jannard just wanted to smash Liliana. Just similar though. Good eye on that one.
And again, this is just Lucille hugging LaWanda because LaWanda's gonna go to cosmetology school. Like you said earlier, Terry just don't want me. You know what I mean? And I have to be okay with that and taking care of my babies and all of the things. And I would, I was absolutely here for that moment for her.
Were you moved by that moment? Were you moved?
I was, because I felt like finally, you know what I mean? LaWanda's been going back and forth. She done got the root worker, got her listening to her off the chain mama, like listening to Lucille, listening to everybody's advice about what she needs to do to keep this man. And now she's focused on what I need to do to be a good woman and mother. And I think that should have been the focus. And I honestly think Terry's going to respect it. When he sees her actually making moves for herself in this way outside of him, I think it's just going to be a better overall parenting relationship, whether they decide to get back together or not. I just think this is a great move for her and for her
I
life.
agree. I agree, but I also think it's going to be a relief for Terry because he no longer has to play the game. He no longer has to lie. He no longer to be like, hey, you're going to go to school. That's great. I'm still going to support the kids, whatever we need.
Yeah. Today is Shamar's birthday. Okay, happy birthday, Shamar. I hope I'm with my stretch marks one day.
One day it'll happen. It'll happen one day.
You know what? So meanwhile, and I can't front, this next one I'm going to show you guys, it gave me all the feels. This was the moment I've been looking for all season. And I needed this to happen. I don't know if it just brought back memories of my youth. But I love this moment, Jay. I loved her getting snatched up by Terry. And not that Breeze is a bad guy, but I just love a big brother being a big brother. You know what I mean? What did you think about this moment here?
Well, shout out to Amina said it, right? Amina seen it. She said, they need to talk to, somebody needs to check this guy and somebody needs to talk to her and, do all this and that. So it was good to see that it was T, right? That he actually was like, what is going on? He overheard the young man tell Breeze, hey, yo, man, if we're going to do something, man, you got to protect yourself. And he was like, nah, me and my girl going to take it slow after he did the whole, would you be my girlfriend? Yes or no? You know, that was cool. You know what I mean? Like, he's not a bad kid from what we see so far. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to take it slow, trying to be respectful. Did you hear the song that was playing while they was doing that and he was giving her the whole note? Did you
What was the
remember
song,
that?
man? What was
It
the
was
song?
it was I don't know who sang it, but it was about respect. If you respect me, I respect you. So that's the type of song it was while he's giving his little note. So he was respecting her, you know, making sure he wasn't rushing into it. So I thought it was cool that they did it that way. It was cute, even though they was in the back seat drinking. That's the part that ain't cute. And that's it. Just why if I was Terry, I would have did the same thing. Like, get your butt out of here. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
I just love a good protective energy. And to know, and for Breeze to know, and not that he's being disrespectful, I do think he's a respectful young man. We saw last episode, he was gonna take the rep for Nicole in the box cutter. Listen, I
yeah,
respect him, but I do think he needed to know she got people, right, that are looking out
right.
for her.
I
So
think it's his friend. His friend is moving a little bit too fast with his little girl up in the front, and Breeze ain't trying to do that. So you know, I could respect Lil Breeze for that.
yeah. And yes, Greta, I'm proud of her. I'm proud of her too. DeMarcus says Terry will probably pay for LaWanda's cosmetology school. He absolutely would. He absolutely would. Terry, shut that down real quick.
Sure did, Buck Stars. Yep.
They said, what we supposed to do? I said, he had to throw their keys, though. He didn't have to throw the
Yeah,
keys.
you studying, but nah, you studying, then you gonna pull the bottles out the back. You ain't studying nothing. Stop playing. Again, I know it's for the show, but why the heck you gonna get the drinks and do all that and sit in front of a store where everybody come?
Yeah.
Like, what are y'all little kids? Y'all don't know how to do this. Y'all
Yeah.
know,
They don't know how to,
they young,
do dirt right yet. They got to
right?
build up to that. Hey, Sasha C. Hey, love your reviews. I watch Power and haven't gotten into BMF post season 1 episode. Oh, still watching through the current season? Absolutely, Sasha C. Now, I know this is mixed opinions, but season 3 has been a really good watch for me. I know some people loved season 2. Season 1 was probably my favorite, but I would encourage you to watch it. I think it's entertaining. Jay, you are a Powerverse aficionado. You know about all the shows. What would you say to Sasha C about whether or not she should continue?
Definitely continue. Definitely continue. I think there is a reward at the end. There may be some parts that you may not feel or whatever, but just keep trucking through it. Eventually, you're going to get some type of reward. So keep going through it. Absolutely.
Yes, Sasha, and welcome, friend.
Welcome.
Dial M for movies. Breeze is a good boy, and now he knows he can't try exactly, and that's just all we were looking for.
Yeah.
Nicole finally got the protection she need. Yes, and I think that this will serve Nicole too, because I do feel like she's just felt left out there. Like, I've got to do this for myself. I've got to protect myself. I've got to be grown up. So I think, yeah, I
She's
think
going to go through the growing pains, but at the same time, she's a good girl herself. And she's trying to stay a good girl. There's a lot of temptation, but I'm glad, like I said, Breeze is respecting her boundaries. You know what I mean? Like, she's a good girl, man. She
I
is.
love that. And Monique, yeah, she agrees with you. Jay. Breeze Buddy is a bad influence.
Hello?
Hello. We can hear you. Oh Lord, y'all, he done. You back? You back? Okay, so he's gonna get that corrected. But let's go into the next one, y'all. Listen.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, now we can. We could hear you the whole time, actually. You just couldn't hear us.
All right, cool.
So now we are back to the A, and Claude has assembled, Rangers, Avengers assemble, okay? And they're sitting there and he's convincing them. He's like, look, Remy's not going to do what he needs to do. Meech has what we actually need to be put on. We need to go with him. And by the end of it, we think the fellas are on his side, right? Like, we're like, okay, let's go. 2 seconds later, enter Remy with the blade. You were like my brother, man. Do you want to tell us what happened, Jay, after when Remy came in the room?
Well, shout out to your pick right there, because that middle pick right there, if you bring it back up real quick, that middle pick almost looked like a little brother of Ghost right there, looking like little Marion, right? I mean, not a Marion, but a Mari Hardwick, Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this was sad. This was sad because all he had to do was just get to the Platinum Palace. You know what I mean? Like, my thing is, bro, he wasn't smart. Again, the two trying to be number one. Why are you having a secret meeting to go against Remy to take over in a spot where Remy can come right in?
That part.
That's not smart. That's a number 2 move. Really, that's a number 5 move. You know what I'm saying? You really not too smart. You should have went to a private location somewhere off the beat, somewhere outside of Techwood. Why you having a meeting in Techwood where you're going to go against the leader that you're trying to take over? Like, it made no sense to me. You know what I'm saying? So when he did come in and it was only right. It was only right.
Yeah, but y'all, if what we're referring to, and trigger warning, because it's extreme violence, and then there may be some newbies here.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Listen, he took that man tongue out. I said, what century are we in? You were like my little brother, sliced him up. And you know, I don't really, it's kind of questionable for me even that Remy has held this leadership role for the amount of time that he has in his community, because he is so stagnant in his thinking. He's not a forward thinker at all. And he's a hothead, and he's mainly fueled by pride. And I just don't see how he's been the chief whatever for so long that it behooves me. But some people just want a leader. It doesn't have to be a good leader. They just want a leader.
Yeah, he's just the biggest mouth, the most aggressive, you know, in situations like that, in a hood like that, it's whoever is the most aggressive. And if you try to test him and he takes down everybody and nobody wants to test him. So once you got a position of power, he's going to try to do his best to keep that by using intimidation. There's different types of leadership levels, right? So some people do it by intimidation and some people do it like Meech, where we're working together as a family, right? So he is choosing to be very aggressive and to be just not thinking properly and prideful, as you said. Yeah, so it's crazy.
Yeah, let's see a couple of these. Monique says, Remy es no bueno. Exactly, no good. Mal, right? That means bad, I think. Exactly, Jay. She says, Buckstock says, I agree. He shouldn't have met with them out in the open, but I believe this will push everyone to Meech by the way he treated his little brother.
Absolutely.
I agree with that. Well, welcome back, Courtney. DeMarcus says, Remy Remsen was actually right because Claude was trying to take out Remy Ransom.
He was right in what way, bro?
Yeah, expound a little bit, because I would say, he had to show, I guess, a play of strength, but he wouldn't listen to reason before. I don't think it even had to escalate to this point. I guess that was a show of power in a way.
Yeah, it's a show of, again, the intimidation leadership tactic. What? You try to cross me, this is what's going to happen to you. I'm going to cut out your tongue. I'm going to put it on the table. Go ahead, fry it, whatever. Then I'm going to put it right into your neck so you can bleed out slow. And then I'm just going and slice you up. So it's a whole mental thing. Like, I'm going to break you down in front of everybody else that you was trying to flip on me, so they'll never try to do it.
Yeah. And we'll see what effect it has. Dial M from Movie says, right, Jay, Remy is feared, not loved in the community.
Yes, indeed. Dial M for more movies.
Cole really needs to cease from saying Breeze for real. Well, we'll see, Courtney. We'll see what happens. But guys, we are probably about halfway through the slides, and we thank you so much. Be sure, whatever you're watching, whichever channel, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all the things on there as we go, because that pushes the live out and it absolutely helps us. Now let's go back to the D. I don't know why Unc needed to be here. I don't know what we needed Unc for. I don't know why he had to come to the rescue. We had Henry in the perfect position where we needed her. We needed Henry to be on the edge and to be wiped away by the Chaldeans. That would have made BMF's job so much easier. But Unc came through and was like, I'm here to save the day. Okay. I don't like how your daddy's treated you. And I was like, well, how he treat her? Show writers, showrunner, producer, director, no disrespect. But maybe if you would have shown us examples of how her daddy has treated her, maybe she would have been likable. But Jay, you chime in. Let us know your thoughts about Uncle somebody coming through to save the day.
All right. So again, another 2. Throw up the 2 signs. Throw up the deuces, y'all. Another 2 trying to be number 1. We know that Henry has been trying to be number 1. So she's always number 2. But here comes Blaze's number 2, which is his brother, coming to save the day. You know what I mean? How he treated her, probably, I'm thinking more so, I'm not thinking as extreme as you might be or anybody else, like, physical or anything like that. I'm thinking just on the level to be like, yo, he does not accept her for who she is and what she's trying to do as far as become a contributor to the organization just the way that she's doing it and not necessarily the way that her father wants her to do it. You know what I mean? She's trying to do it her own way. So I'm thinking it's like, yeah, he hasn't treated you right because he treats everybody else as far as the bosses correctly and respectfully. But because you're his daughter, because you might be a woman as well, and because he doesn't want you to really be in it, but he's like, I can't really stop you because we find out what happened to, the mother. It's very complicated. But I'm glad Unc came through, but still, it ain't gonna make no difference. It ain't gonna make no difference. You mute it.
I'm not glad Unc came through. I'm not glad. I wish Unc wouldn't have came through. It makes the show more interesting, of course. I know.
I don't want the child Dillians or whatever they call to take her out. I want BMF. I want Terry to take them down. Or Brian. I'll take that. I want to
be done with her. I just want to be done with Henry.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. And I thought that would be the quickest way.
Well, it's not going to happen no time soon because they're humanizing her like crazy now.
Yeah, I know. But I will say, I didn't think her daddy did anything nefarious to her based on just what we've seen, the interactions. I think he just was refusing to bail her out of this situation. But that's
the crazy part about it, right? So he refused to bail her out in this situation, not knowing what the child Dillians or whatever you're going to call them was going to do to her, right? But he's willing to protect and beat down Brian and all of this and that when Brian's coming to get her. So what are you trying to do? What do you like totally wipe your hands clean of her now? So the child Dillians will come and just take her out? Like, what are you doing, Blaze? What's the plan? You know?
Absolutely. And we'll see. And like I said, she's out of that situation, so she can breathe freely for a couple moments, but we know she's still tortured. And like you said, they are humanizing her. So of course, we're going to have to go deeper down this rabbit hole.
She'll be here for a minute.
DeMarcus says Remy Ramsden was trying for protection. What was his, and Claude wasn't loyal to Remy Ramsden. Okay. Well, I mean, he wasn't loyal after a certain point. I think after his multiple conversations with him and him saying, what the massacre, right, that happened, and Remy still remaining obstinate in his choices to not partner with anybody. It's like, okay, I guess I'm going to go out this way or the other way at this point, because Tech was not going to survive when Glock really gets
Claude definitely took the risk, right? He's been questioning Remy on his decision-making process. We saw that a couple episodes ago. All right, man, well, whatever you're going to do, just lead us down the road. But you ain't listening to Meech. Nah, F Meech, da-da-da-da. Every time, because Meech on site was taking him down. But that Remy caused that on himself. Mm-hmm. Remy caused it on himself by taking out Tal like that. So on site, Meech is always going to hit you up. But, yeah, I mean, I see what DeMarcus is saying, like, yeah, you were this, regardless of how Remy was, Claude was disloyal to Remy. So Remy had to do what he had to do.
Yeah. Unc causing tension in the family. Absolutely. Because what is Blaze going to feel about this when he finds out that he bailed Henry out? And he might not feel no way. We'll see. Bucks thoughts, the writer's trying to save her for some reason. It's too late. It's too late for me. There's no redemption for Henry in my eyes in terms of me at some point liking her, because I'm just
I wanted her to go too, but it's like, okay, now here we go. We're going to find out more about Henry. Should we start caring? We're in what, episode 8? I don't care. I really don't.
Now, this next moment was really a beautiful moment. You know what I mean? And I'm all about a Black father and son moment. And, we got this. We're in Terry's new place, and he's giving his daddy a haircut because we found out earlier in the episode that Uncle Charles is going to play for the Campbell brothers and act. And he invites Lucille, and Lucille says, "Can I bring the doctor?"
Okay, so here we go. This is a number 2 moment. This is where Charles thought he was number 1 after the song, after hitting it twice, after, the drywall, right? He thought he was number 1. And when she said that, she broke his ass down quick. It was like, well, damn. And she was laughing too. But I was like, damn, if that's not a dagger to the heart, bro, I don't know what is. I mean, what did you think about this, though?
It's my level of petty, but
I see.
It was wrong, though. It was wrong. It was wrong, but it was pet. It was hilarious. Okay, it was hilarious for me. But not Lucille knew she was wrong for that. Like, this is his moment. He's getting back into music. You could have just said, no, I don't want to go, or say, I'm going to go. I think she did that just to screw with him, because we saw what
You think
happened.
so?
She did. She wasn't really going to bring the doctor. I just think she was sticking it to him.
She was trying to be funny too. She was being petty and trying to be fun. Can I bring the doctor? I'll bring Maurice. You little petty motherfucker.
It was, and it's my level of petty. It's my level of petty. So
Petty LaBelle for real. I see you.
Didn't his face drop though? I think that's the part that tickled me most. He was like,
you just love anything that's sticking anything to Charles, period. Okay, Miss Petty. I'm gonna call you Petty LaBelle.
Oh my gosh.
Petty LaBelle.
I'm petty. Listen, says I as am I. It feels like father MCs treat them like they want to be treated back in the 1990s. I don't give a F about Henry or her feelings. Terry's doing a good job of being a good brother to Nikki. He is right now. He's stepping up. Terry's stepping up in all directions. So I'm hoping we keep this momentum. It's going.
This was his episode. This was his episode.
Mm-hmm. Monique said, "Shout out to Lucille for that."
The Petty Squad. That's your new name, the Petty Squad.
The Petty. Listen, I like it. 22's Jay onto something. He said it. He had a theory, honey. He came into it like this is the episode of 2. That one cut me deep.
I know, right, Bucks?
Lucille was foul for mentioning.
Foul. Super foul. I mean, bad enough last week or yesterday, whatever time period, we got flowers to the house, okay? Like filet mignon, that whole discussion. So now, can I bring Maurice? Oh, God.
Let's move on, because I'm not going to stop laughing.
Terrible.
Sorry. Okay. So.
Terrible.
Okay, so Angel's with her new man, Mr. Glock, okay, aka old boy from Diara too, Monty's husband, and he's in there speaking the French, honey. He's speaking the French, and he's saying, there are more popos over here in Techwood than I've ever seen before. But what I need you to do, partner, is go and handle Meech before we leave. And I was like, does Angel speak French? What you think, Jay? What was going on? Or did she just know something crazy was about to happen?
So let me just correct you here. It is Creole. This is what he's speaking, Creole.
But it's like a mix of French, right? It sounds
it's like patois broken English. Creole is like, you could say, broken French. It's a little French in there. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit more, like, it's like more emphasis in Creole speak. But anyway, that's what I was thinking. I was like, when she started speaking, I think she only understood Meech and then heard the aggression in his speech for her to pick up that Meech is in danger. You know what I'm saying? So, but to have his dude come through, man, that was crazy, dog. I was like, man. But she cares. Obviously, she cares.
She does care. Now let's go back to the D. Let's go back. Now, I didn't know Terry was a gambler. Is he going to turn out to be a degenerate gambler is my first question, but don't answer yet. And then, so we're back in the gambling joint. And this is what really grinded my gears. He had been doing good so far this episode. But then you go to this heifer and you lay out the entire plan, which is he's found a new way to launder the money through the lottery system, right? And we'll kind of go into that a little bit deeper, but he lays it all out to this raggedy heifer. What did you think of this, Jay? Why is he telling her everything still? And why is she asking so many questions?
Because she head over heels. She got him head over heels. She got him in the palm of his hand. She wants to do something with the plan, or she just wants to learn the game, or she wants to take over the game. Again, she got him where she wants him. Like, she also is, bigging him up and letting him spread his wings and letting him be like, okay, all right, well, this is what's going down. And then we needed to know and then be explained anyway. So it's a good way for us to know what's going on. But she's really puffing him up, making him feel like the man that he needs to be. You know what I'm saying? Because that right after that, it's like, give me a drink too, because I want a little hair on my chest. I feel a little, a little more like a man now because you're making me feel like a man. So we know he's He's in the palm of her hand. She's
And
gonna do something with that information.
And I don't understand why he doesn't catch that every time she's bigging him up, she's talking about his brother. Like, Markeisha can't just have a conversation with him, right? Big Keisha's like, "Oh, you did such a great job, Terry. See, you're so much better without Meech being here. You
Yeah, it's
never
a
needed
tactic.
Meech." She says it every single time, and I'm thinking, Terry, you're a smart man. You can't see she's trying to separate you from your brother.
No,
Like, she can't
no,
see the division, the wedge.
no. When you got the P on you, it'll make you listen to stuff you should not be listening to. When your nose is wide open, when you flare up your nose and you're wide open and you're addicted to the P.
Lord.
Like I said, P has brought up empires and destroyed them at the same time. Okay, so it's all about how y'all use it.
So anyway, like we said, we can use it for good or evil.
Right.
So he basically describes the whole process of how this is going to work. He's in with the Chaldeans now. They own the convenience stores. He is basically going to have them buy the lottery, they're going to buy the winning lottery tickets, right? And have them redeemed by someone who has got clean hands and a clean bank account. And they're going to pay out the person back in cash. They're going to buy furs, jewelry, whatever they want to buy. Now, this is the perfect way to launder the money in Terry's eyes. Did you like this plan? Do you think this is a smart plan? What did you think?
Well, as a businessman, I thought it was a very clever scheme. It's not a plan, it's a scheme. Okay, let's keep it real. It's a scheme, right? It's a play, right? It's a lick. It's a super lick. It's like a double entendre lick. It's like lick. All right, let's not go there. But here we go. Like, this was a crazy dope plan, to be honest with you. Like, it's kind of flawless, to be honest with you, unless somebody catches it, right? But it was a flawless plan. I thought it was dope. Not gonna lie.
Okay. I'm not mad at it either. And it's a way to honestly get a lot of money clean. A lot of money clean. So Courtney says, I saw Remy, the character, in a Tubi movie called Cinnamon Child.
Yeah. Yeah. I covered
that.
I covered that movie. I did cover that movie. Yeah.
How long ago was that?
That was probably last summer or last fall.
Okay. TB or Too Black says, my mouth was open when she said that. Monique says, Angel heard Meech and that's all she needed to hear. Right. Terry is going to F up the church's money, giving Markeisha the play bop. Listen, that's how I feel about it. This is not going to come to any good dealing with Big Keish. It's just not. DeMarcus says, Terry was gambling when he met Earl and Goldie in season 2. Southwest.
Yeah, he been a gambler. He been shooting craps. He been doing that.
Good P has brought down kingdoms. Listen.
Yes, sir.
OMG's Henry's uncle shaking my head. Yeah. LaWanda wanted to divide Meech and Terry in season 1. LaWanda did. Okay.
She did.
Because she saw
because of the operation that they was doing.
Yeah, but I think it was a difference in motivation, though. I honestly think LaWanda wanted Terry to be legal in his pursuits.
Wanted to be legal, but also wanted him to just give all attention to her and the family. Yeah. But that's the same thing with Shorty, right?
I would not be surprised if Vince arrested Sam for the lottery scheme to hurt Terry because of Markeisha. If she tells him, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. I would not be surprised. But speaking of that, 4 mojitos down. She gets another, whatever she's drinking, sent over, some sort of martini maybe. And she's like, no, I'm good. I've had enough. And Vince comes and interjects himself. And Terry does sun him in that moment. And Big Keish, she has something to say as well. How do you think that Big Keish handled him? Did she handle him appropriately in the moment?
Well, first, let's salute and shout out to Terry. All right. Because honestly, this dude wasn't going to let up until he let him know. Like, I got the drop on you, period, dog. You can keep trying to send drinks. You can keep trying to do all this crazy stuff. I got the drop on you, dog. I know where you at, what you eat, the pork grinds, the this, the that. I know what time you get on, what time you get off, and all the HOEs that you kind of turn a blind eye to. Like, bro, I got you, son. Like, you know where I'm at, but I really know where you at, dog. So once again, the number 2 step up to be number 1. And this guy tried to be number 1, but now he's number 0. You know what I'm saying? So Terry did his thing, and Markeisha, standing on business, like he's all the man that I need. Salute to her with that. Salute to her with that. You know what I'm saying? Even though she the one that caused it. She's the one that started the whole thing. She ain't had to call him and, try to make Terry jealous and go through this whole game just to get attention back on her. It worked, but damn it, you went about it all, real schemish.
And he's not going away that easy. He's not. I wish Vince was going to go away that easy, but he's not going to go away that easy. She opened that door and, it is what it is. When he told him what kind of donuts he liked in the breakfast sandwich, I said, oh, yeah, he clocked all your tea, boo-boo.
That was Hoops. Yes. He told Hoops to do it. He got all the 911 and 411 on him. Yep.
Listen, all of it. Now, Uncle Charles at the show.
Yeah. Feeling it. Yes, Charles. Yes, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing. I mean, this got to be a gospel. I don't know where this was, man. It seemed like we was in a church club.
That's what I said. I said, is it a church club? The Campbell brothers were definitely a gospel act. So I was like, is that are they, maybe they in a holy club? But I guess
I was thrown back a little bit because of the lighting, and it's like, it looked like they had like little like tables. Like, okay, where's the bar at? You know what I'm saying? We got the Jesus juice. Like, what are y'all doing up in there? You know what I mean? But it was dope, though. I was happy to see it was going down the way it was.
Yeah. And, Lucille came through like the woman that she is, you know what I mean? Alone. She did not bring the good doctor, as she implied earlier.
Respectful.
Yeah. Just being petty. And not only that, but this is the sign of a good woman, y'all. And I know y'all like to hate on Auntie Lucille, but not on my watch, okay? Because she came through and she does what a good wife would do, right? She encouraged him. She, expressed how good he was in the show. And then when one of the Campbell brothers actually came over, you should have heard the song he wrote for me. You know what I mean? You should have heard the song he wrote for me. So not only is she praising Charles for operating in his gifts, but then she promotes him to the man who can actually get him a check. Beautiful moment. You can't deny it, Jay. You can't.
No, I see it a totally different way. Once again, Lucille coming when the shine is on, coming when the lights are coming down, going to the opportunity of success, fame, and fortune. Okay. First it was the doc. Oh, he's so successful and sexy. Now that my man Charles got a haircut and he wrote a song for her, he's working his way. Now he on stage. Now he in the light. You know what I'm saying? You could do all of that. You know what I'm saying? But your girl is looking like a real, like, oh, you doing great. Let's go. Da, 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 da. Don't try that whole supportive husband. Don't try that whole supportive husband because just the other day, let's keep it real. Just the other day, she was like cutting up because she had to go to Wendy's. She's cutting up because she's complaining about this and that. Oh. Let's keep it 1,000 because she wasn't supportive when he was doing his driving business, was she?
I thought we were going to have a good episode.
Because I see it totally different. Let me speak my mind. You ain't let me speak my mind. You said your thing. Let me speak my mind. This is just my perspective. I don't agree. I don't agree with this deal. It's cute, but still, you want to take a jab at my man talking about, can I bring the doctor? That was a jab, petty jab. You go and be like, yeah, all right, that's my husband. Oh, yeah. Now that he's getting a little bit of shine, now you want to jump in there and be on some like, oh, you should have heard the song that he did for me. Come on, dog. Because you wasn't riding with him before. So now he got a little bit of something. He invited you to it. Nah, man, I don't agree. I really wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling Lucille in this moment. It was cute. It was all that. And then when he took, look, this is how I know. This is how I know when he's doing well and he's shining. When he pulled out the money that Terry gave him, it was like, we gonna go out. You know what she did? She grabbed onto that money. She was like, oh, where you get this money from? Oh, okay, all right. And she was just glistening in that moment. Charles is shining right now. And it's like, yo, you know what I mean? Let me ride with him. Let's see how far this goes. That's just my perspective, man. You could disagree. Agree don't matter. I'm just saying I saw what I saw and I wasn't really happy with Lucille.
Here's the thing. Can we be honest? Can we? Because
I'm being honest. I'm being honest.
We got to give credit where credit is due, right?
And the credit goes to Charles for cleaning himself up and going out there.
Well, may I finish? Do I have the floor now?
Go ahead.
Thank you. let's be serious. He made $20 that night. This wasn't no shine. And what she did was put him in position to be in a better
Charles
position.
put himself in this position. Stop it.
Oh no, not Mr. Respect my time and space.
Nah, man.
Let me go on and finish this, because that wasn't about no shine for her. Her sons have money. She don't need Charles' money, Jay. It's not about that. And this wasn't even about I want to get back with you. This was I see you doing what you love and you don't have the same attitude ever. This wasn't about no dadgum money. Be for real. Be for real. She was encouraged.
Nobody said it was about the money. You missed the whole point.
Can I
missed the whole point.
Can I finish? You said it was about him shining and her wanting to be in the limelight and grabbing the money. If that's not about the money, what is it? What I'm saying is he just wants to see him do well, whether it's with her or not. I didn't get, oh, I want to be with you now because you played the little air guitar. I didn't get that. Sorry.
No. So here's the thing. When he took out the money, follow what I'm saying to you. When he pulled out the money that Terry gave him, where you get this money from? Oh, she's caught up in the moment, because before that, it's like, well, I'm gonna figure this out with the doctor. I'm gonna be with the doctor. But now that your man is doing this thing and she's enjoying and seeing him, she knows what she said. You haven't shined or been this excited in a very long time, because he's living in his purpose. He's living where he is. So why you ain't been there when times was down? No, when he wasn't doing that. But now you all up on him. You see what I'm saying? So my deal is stay with your husband, stick with your husband through the good and the bad. Okay, don't just come where he's shining. And she ain't put him in no position. Let's keep it real. He's the one that got the gig. He's the one that went up there, performed. She ain't do. Stop. Let's stop giving credit where credit is not due.
It is due.
Okay. No, it's not, ma'am. No, it's not. Don't try to change the narrative. Don't try to change the narrative. You're trying to change the narrative because again, you're talking over me. What I'm saying to you is this: your man. All right. Nah, we're gonna be respectful. Your man worked his way to getting his gig, getting his haircut, trying to get himself together, make himself better, and now here he is. What did Lucille have to do with that? Nothing.
I didn't deny that.
Okay. Well, you said that she got him there or tried to put him in position.
She got him the card, though. And she did. By opening
she got him the card?
Promoting him to the guy. He wasn't promoting himself, Jay.
Listen, your boy came up to him. Your boy came up to him. Stop. Let's keep it real. Your boy came up to him. Your boy came up to him because he did a great job with the song. Okay? So he was going to get the connect regardless. And yes, she jumped in the moment to try to encourage the situation. You should have heard da. Okay, but my thing is this. You should be sticking with him and by his side regardless whether a guy comes up to you or not. Period. Support your man. That's all I'm saying. Stop messing with the doctor and support your man through thick and thin. That's all I'm saying.
She been with him through the
day. She ain't
down.
Been supporting thick and thin.
Listen. She has.
When things got rough.
We'll agree to disagree.
When things got rough.
Thought says preach, Jay. As I told Henry is way too okay. Let's see. Lucille is no different than Marquisha now. That's a lot. Catching my first live, but I've been watching both of you guys for the last month. Love the reviews. Team Auntie Lucille, but I know that's right, Joanne. It was a stretch. Preach, Jay.
Salute.
Lucille closed the deal. End of story, Jay.
He didn't close nothing. He would have closed the deal regardless if she was there or not. She encouraged it. She encouraged it.
She's been with this man for 20 years, and I don't know how there hasn't.
Don't even try to bring that in.
Struggling. But I'm saying you act like this one moment that she's had is problematic. I didn't say it was problematic. What I said was she came and did what a good wife would do, which was to support her husband and to big up him to the record person. That's all I said.
You said more than that, ma'am. Before I started going in, you said way more than that on trying to give her props and setting him up. Nah, man.
And it was fine.
Nah, because that's what I'm saying. It was incorrect. So I had to come through and just say, yo. He got his gig himself. Lucille had nothing to do with that. He cleaned himself up. All right. He's doing what he loves to do. But here he invited her to come. She was being supportive. That's cool. I don't got no problem with that. But it's now that he's shining in a different way. All right. It seemed like she being, I'm riding with you now because you looking good.
If
You
you
should
think
have
so,
wrote. You should have
I
wrote
don't
with your
think
husband when he was
about
looking
that
bad. You should have wrote
though.
with your husband when
He's
he's
been
looking
right.
bad.
He's been looking bad. But moving right along, Lucille
Nah,
didn't want Charles
he's
to
looking
sleep
good
with
now.
Riley and Pastor Swift Church because she thought they was mad. Well, I mean, that was
Gold digging,
what it
gold
was.
diggerish.
Now we have Jen and Henry. Jen is back in the blonde wig and she's deep cover now. She is figuring out how to get in with Henry, and Henry is in a deep reflective state. What did you think of this moment, Jay? Henry and Jen in the bar.
Well, we predicted it. You know, we said that this moment was a moment that she was sharing something based on her facial expression. Lucille's, not Lucille, based on Jen's expression, we knew that Henry was expressing something like, yo, this is not good. And, you know, we had an idea, but this was, again, them trying to humanize Henry on this level. Did it seem like she was humanized to you?
No, we talk about, I mean, you know, that's the effort, but not for me. We talk about, I think here or maybe in the later scene, but we can talk about it now. And that was that, you know, they start talking about family, you know what I mean? And Jen is open and she talks about her sister passing, I believe. And then Henry opens up about her not having a mother, you know what I mean? The issues with her dad. And we find out now that Jen's mom actually passed away giving birth to her. And that's why she thinks her dad hates her. You know what I mean? You know, it was a lot to open up to somebody like that on a first real date. I think, like I said, I think it's too close for comfort for Jen. I think she's kind of walking a dangerous line, but we'll see. How do you think this is going to turn out for her?
It's time for Henry to go. She got to get out of here. You know what I'm saying? You getting too personal. And just like I said before, like this is, again, what we call what do we call it? I forgot what we call it, but it's foreshadowing. There we go. Foreshadowing. When a character gives us way more information than we, you know, really want to know, then yeah, it's a foreshadowing. Henry's about to be out of here. Can't hear you.
Okay, we are now back down to the A, and Meech is waiting for everybody to show up, right, for this meeting that he had planned with Claude, and instead, Remy shows up and starts cussing and fussing and is like, yeah, we're not going to do anything together. F you, Meech. What did you think about this situation?
Well, when he sent the head, it was crazy. He put the head on ice. He put Claude's head on ice, and it was crazy. So, yeah, man, like Remy's going down, B, because Meech knows that eventually Techwood is going to come to BMF, and that's it. It's going to be a wrap. He doesn't even have like a supplier right now, right? Like we don't even know if Remy has a supplier to even supply whatever he's trying to do. So he might as well give it up, man. But Remy's pride is always going to stay in the way, always.
Yep, always.
What up, Tamika's dead?
Hey, Tamika. Okay, now we are back in the D and we're having a sit down with the Chaldeans. And I love this for Terry. Terry made quite an impression on them and laid out the business plan, and they seem like they are good to go with it. What did you think of the meeting? Was it successful? Do we think this is going to bode well for the organization?
Yeah, you know, Terry, again, number 2 becoming number 1, stepping in, doing his thing, laying out the plan. And yeah, he's making an offer they can't refuse. You know what I mean? Like, you got to cut off Henry. I'm gonna supply you for a better way. You can make profit off of it, make up for the losses from Henry, just cut her off, and we got a deal. I mean, how can you refuse that? You know what I'm saying? It's a way better situation than anything.
Yep, and they are ready to go. Now let's see, only a couple more. We are making our way downtown. So now this was, I thought, was special. Through it all, even though Angel is about her money and we know she kind of got a little bit of a 304 mentality, right? Doing what she's got to do to make it. She did still care enough about Meech to warn him about what's possibly happening with Glock and what's about to happen to him. What'd you think of her coming through and really showing love to Meech, even after, like she said, even after you left me?
I think she I don't think she like was trying to disrespect him. As he said, she trying to get her money, right? So I don't think she stopped liking him. I just think she was just like, you're not taking me with you. I'm kind of hurt about that. So she's doing what she got to do. I thought it was kind of nice for her to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I love that for her. I mean, I thought it was noble, but I do think it's going to hasten her end. I don't think she's got much more time left. But we shall see what's going to happen now. Now, this was the moment I kind of wasn't expecting. I thought we were going to keep things at the bar. I didn't know we were going home together. But I was like, if Henry get Jen's panties off, it's gonna be problematic. So they get into it, they get enthralled in the moment, and Jen is like, okay, this is getting too close for comfort. I gotta get up, I gotta go. And this is after kissing the burn marks, and Jen says, I burned myself because that was a pain I could control, right? I could control that in the way that I was hurt. And I was like, wow, that's kind of deep. What did you think about this moment?
Well, she kissed her, right? She kissed her. She straight kissed her in the bar because the cops were coming in. And guess what? She had to kiss her so the cops that she knew that was walking in basically didn't see her. So she kissed her. And yeah, this was like a natural progression for them to go back to the spot because she was like, yo, have you been with a person like me? And she's like, yeah. So it was a natural progression for them to go back to the crib and see what's going down. But I just want to know what she saw in that picture, who she saw in that picture that made her leave. That's what I want to know.
It just appeared to be Henry and her family, but I don't know who all that family consisted of because it seemed like 4 or 5 of them, not just her dad.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting. They'll probably go to that, I'm sure. Now, Lord have mercy. And I think this was almost, we're like next to last slide for this episode. Now, Meech and they're getting bucky naked with 2 of the 304s that we met at the strip club. They had invited them, and Meech ain't gonna turn down no coot nanny, really. And so they're just wrapping up, talking about they should have brought a third girl, all of the things. And then we see Glock's right-hand man come in, shoot up the spot. I mean, he even got one of the 304s, I think, in the shoulder, and she's freaking out. Meech is fighting for his life. And then we saw the window shatter, and that was a wrap. What did you think? Meech did what he had to do, but do you think he was moving sloppy after the warning?
Yeah, man, because I kind of saw that like right away. Like, yo, come back to the room with us. He going back to the room by himself. Nobody's going to be waiting outside, like in the car, like to look out or nothing like that. Like, what's up with that? Meech, like, yeah, he was slipping a little bit, but we finally see Meech actually take somebody out, but it was self-defense. All right. The guy jumped at him and he just tossed him and used his body weight, and boom, he's out. He's out. He's on the ground. He's on the car. There it is.
Yeah. And not a noble end, but Glock is going to have something to say about that, but it is what it is. And speaking of people being unalived, we thought there was going to be an unaliving, but there were multiple. And this was the final one of the episode. And this is Henry's cousin, Bryant, in a rage, honey. After sitting there stalking, tailing the man, whatever you want to call it, jumps out. And I think he gone. Is he gone, Jay? Is it over for Henry's cousin?
I mean, the way that dude was bashing him, yeah, it looks like it's over for real. Like he bashed him all the way down to his brain cells. You know what I mean? Like he does not look alive at all. He's done. And I think Bryant taking his rage out on him was coming. Like he needed to take his stress out on somebody. So he found out the right person, and he did. And it's not going to bring Kevin back, but at least he might feel a little bit better, but still, he ain't going to stop.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But okay, Candy says big time setup. Absolutely.
Yeah. What up, Candy?
Absolutely. DeMarcus says Jen saw Tyson and Twan in the picture. Okay. They're definitely family. Bucks thoughts, random thought. This club is out of control. Severed heads, fights, and shootouts every night, and still open. But you know, the politicians and everybody goes there. Let's see. The scene was funny. Which one, Monique? Which scene was funny to watch, Lord? Bryant wrong as F for unaliving that man. Yeah, it was cold blooded. Sharon. Oh, it was who was in the photo. I could not figure out that part. Yeah.
I was trying to pause it. I thought it was what I'm thinking. My theory is that I think that Jen probably knew her mom. There might have been a picture of her mom in the picture. And Jen probably knew her mom, maybe. I don't know. It's like, oh, shoot. I know who that person is. Let me get up out of here.
Oh, the tussle. Yes, it was quick. It was long and quick at the same time because I was like, okay, there's a whole lot of shooting, run out of bullets. Then it's a kind of just a fling and he's out the window. It was kind of like one and done. I'm glad they didn't drag it out though. But yeah, you guys, so that was episode 8, Code Red. Drop in the comments now what y'all feel like your rating is after us talking about it. 1 to 10, what do you give? What do you give the rating? Now, this is a good theory, Candy. Could that have been the unalive lady cop in the picture, Amberson? She is from an affluent family.
You know, we were saying that theory that we was asking, I think we was talking about it, that is Amberson, we questioned, is Amberson connected to Blaze? Are they related? You know, I think Amina looked it up, like, yeah, they got different last names, but that still doesn't mean that they're not related. You know what I mean? Maybe Amberson was a cousin. Maybe it was her sister. Who knows? You know what I mean? So I'm really waiting for the next episode to see exactly who that was.
Okay, let's see. DeMarcus says it's time for Terry to catch a body now. Oh, I wonder if that's going to play out. We shall see.
Shout out for the super chat. Appreciate you.
Candy says, yes, Jay, I think that was her because she jumped too fast. She jumped very fast. You give it an 8, 8.5. Okay. Any other ratings, 1 to 10, guys? Put it in the chat. But yeah, that was the episode overall. I don't know. After talking about it over, I probably agree with the 8. It was solid. Ooh, Jay says a 6.
That's why I started. I started as a 6.
Oh, Sharon says 8.5. DeMarcus says 8. Candy says 7.5. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to give Jay the floor. He's going to tell you guys what he's got going on this week.
All right, fam. Hey, listen. Appreciate you guys for coming out. You know what I'm saying? Definitely another high-packed, intense live stream as we always do. So salute to Ashley on putting it together this week as I am on location, you know what I'm saying, in a disclosed location. So definitely, you know, I'll bump it up to an 8. But yes, we got Diara from Detroit tomorrow. Most likely we are going to have probably the predictions for episode 9 and the exclusive picks probably on Tuesday because I will be traveling on Monday. So we'll probably do that on a Tuesday. And then we're going to be coming back to with Handle the Truth, y'all. We're going to come back with Handle the Truth. And yeah, look out for all the new shows. The Shy's on the way and Ghost is on the way. So get ready, get set. We got May, June. We're going to cover that. We're going to have all of that good stuff for you, all exclusive stuff. So make sure you join the channel, family. So I'm going to be dropping a lot of exclusive stuff for Ghost, for the Shy. So get ready for that. So again, thank you, Ashley, for having me. Back to you. You're on mute.
Yes, and don't forget tomorrow, Diara from Detroit, and also a brand new show coming this week. So have your notification bells on and looking at the community tab because Them on Prime Video comes out this week, and I know we're going to be covering it. So listen, If y'all are into horror, I don't know, but them, The Scare, Prime Video, watch the trailer. It's on my community tab and you can watch it, but I'll definitely be covering that. And of course, all of the other shows that are on deck. If you have stuck with us through this entire live chat, though, we appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye.